Hello, everyone. Welcome to another GoDaddy Pro EMEA Meetup. To learn more about how GoDaddy Pro saves time for web developers and designers, check out the link in the chat. Please feel free to introduce yourself or ask questions in the chat. This session will be recorded, and the recording will be available at GoDaddy Pro YouTube channel. You should get a survey email too after this event. Please answer these couple of questions for us, as it means to us to improve our events. Today is Monday, 10th of July, and we have a great guest. Last time when we met, we spoke about the improvements and changes that 6.2 WordPress edition brings. Today, we have Jorge Casals with us, and we'll be talking about DataPocket plugin. Before we deep dive into the plugin itself, let's meet Jorge. Jorge, how are you?
Hello, hi everyone. Well, it's really nice to see you all, and thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, I'm excited to start talking right away, but yeah, probably a few questions first.
Yeah, I'm very happy. To start this meetup, I would like to ask you to tell us more about your professional journey and what inspired you to start your career in tech.
So long story short, I moved to the UK when I was 13. I'm a Spanish originally, and obviously, when you have this opportunity, you have to take it 100%, or always be 150%. Is not opportunity that everyone can have. And it's true that in the UK, they always push you to start working since an early age. My first work experience was at 17, and then at 18, before uni, I joined my first startup. It was called UENI, and they are still working. They're still growing nowadays. We were just about 6 people in the office, and nowadays they have a huge team in there. And from all of a sudden, I decided to study psychology, which has nothing to do with tech. But again, in the UK, they always push you to, I don't know, to get out of your comfort zone and do new stuff. So I joined a job that had nothing to do with psychology, and it was TA media. And that's where I started to learn about how a real team works. And then I got the great opportunity to join Epic Games, Fortnite. So it's the game company. And in there, I discovered all my passion for tech. Is where I learned more about the mechanics of marketing, of Google Ads, of how everything digital marketing related worked, and also how products work. Obviously, Epic Games has many products, but they also have other companies that work with big companies as well. And obviously, learning from them was the great, like it was the push to make me go farther and move back to Spain, where I joined this company that was already in the works of something. It was called Filkers back in the day. And when I joined, I started to lead all the marketing and business development side. And since then, so it's been 2.5 years now that I've been working as the product lead for all these SaaS products. So yeah, nowadays I'm tech related, 100% tech related. Is from business development to marketing, communications, talking to investors, talking to other companies, building relationships, and being the face of the product as well. So yeah, that's how I got into tech.
It's a very interesting road, to be honest with you. When you started with the psychology part, I wasn't thinking you would end up straight in tech. But to be honest with you, I know a number of psychologists who are in tech. So, as Raquel said, psychology has much more to do with tech than we realize it. So, maybe the new discovery in tech will come actually from psychologists.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you have made an interesting solution, and my question about it would be, what problems DataPocket plugin solves?
So I will do a brief explanation now. Then I will go more into details with the presentation. But we discovered with Filkers was our first SaaS product, that designers had problems with data custody, meaning that they knew what they had to do. So obviously designers have a job, they have a task to do, and they finish it. But then there always comes the questions like, where are the latest images? What was the latest price of my client? Oh, there's a typo here. You need to recheck the typo 6 times. Oh, send it over to the team. Check, check, check. So we found out that actually inside companies, there's loads of miscommunication due to large data custody problems, such as long email threads, Slack channels everywhere with text, prices, and images going everywhere, missing folders. So Canva, the big Australian company that has grown so much, they gave us the opportunity to develop a solution for them. And this was the very beginning of Canva, and the very beginning of our relationship with Canva on, hey, let's develop something that could work for e-commerce, but could also work for other data sources where designers have to use their customers' data in order to create designs. So we went a step further and we took the same solution to Figma and Adobe. So we built this solution where all designers, which is mainly covered, because obviously Canva, Figma, and Adobe covers almost all designers in the world, have this solution at hand where they can start designing with their customers' data without any issues, any miscommunication problems.
That is a significant part of workload that needs to be done. Who is the biggest beneficiary of your solution or plugin?
Yeah. So at the beginning, at the very beginning, obviously the product has been launched only 3 months ago. At the beginning, we thought agencies would be the perfect user persona or buyer persona even. But then we realized that actually brands, obviously agencies take care of brands, but we found out that brands obviously have either designers inside of their team or the designers are in the agencies. So we found out that it works very well when an agency finishes the job. So for example, they deliver a website, they deliver whatever task the agency has to do for the brand. And then the agency proposes DataPocket to the brand, and they're like, hey, there's this tool that is for free right now. And what you can do is start promoting your products on your own way without needing an agency behind you. So obviously most of agencies do their job. So they do the big part. So yeah, big projects such as a new brand website, e-commerce website. Well, we know all the shopping cart, all the payment. There's so many things to do. But then when it comes to promoting your e-commerce, when it comes to promoting your blog, when it comes to creating content in order to gain more visibility, this tool comes into play. So brands are one of the biggest targets. And obviously we found out that people have many clients at once. So for example, community managers or freelancers that work out there with multiple e-commerce or multiple data sources. This is a good solution for them. So they always have all the information from their clients on one place, and they always know that they're playing with the real thing. So images, titles, prices, and descriptions are always up to date. So they don't have to keep coming back to their client asking for information. They always know that they're going to design, let's say, correctly.
This is, I mean, it besides actually saving time, it also gives you a peace of mind that the correct visuals or the correct message will be transferred to the public. Without further ado, why don't I let you do the demo so we actually see how it works. I will minimize myself and I'll be in the chat if you need me. So
Okay.
you have the floor now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so I will just briefly explain what is DataPocket, like really fast, and talk about integrations, and then I'll go straight into the live demo and explain who is this for. So basically answering all your questions, Maja, and one by one. So a bit of background. In April 2022, Canva called us to join the Alpha API program. There was only 8 apps in the world that were selected at the very beginning, and we started to work with them on their new API. It was called the API 2.0, where so many things were coming into play for Canva. Nowadays, Canva has over 135 million active users per month, and they keep growing. The community is amazing, and we said yes straight away. We really wanted this opportunity, so we went for it. But in the meantime, as the development with Canva was a bit slow, we launched DataPocket in Figma and Adobe. So we got to approach other sort of designers, so more like UX, UI, more professional designers that use Adobe, to kind of like gain feedback, to see if they could test the product for free, to see if we can gain, again, valuable feedback to improve the tool before we went out with Canva officially. And then back in March 2023, Canva told us, hey, join us in San Francisco. We want you to be with us and present DataPocket at the very first Canva developers event worldwide. So we did. We accepted the invitation, and we went to San Francisco and presented DataPocket with the Canva team. We got to say thank you to everyone that came all the way from the Canva team, and they also told us congratulations for being one of the first and for being so helpful, because obviously our company also helped to build what's the API nowadays, so other developers can join the app ecosystem in Canva. And then it was official. The press release was out, and DataPocket was available globally in Canva, and we started to see users coming along. So DataPocket, basically what it does is, with the claim that you can see in here, is that we bridge the gap between content and design. Is a phrase that we love and that we use every day almost, and we're gonna go with it because I think it's self-explanatory on how, on this drawing over here, we take the data source that has all the information inside, and then we make it available cross-platform in 3 different platforms. Our idea of growth, of course, is to have more and more design platforms and more data sources, so that even large enterprises, brands, or agencies that work with lots of different clients can work with just DataPocket. And here are some of the integrations that we have right now. So this is the 3 design platforms. And these are some of the data connectors that we have in place. So for example, with the API, which is an API that we developed, you can even connect things like Twitter, you can connect Instagram, anything that goes with an API, you can get it connected to Canva, for example, or to Figma. Even if you want to have, again, imagine you want to have a Salesforce connected, or Airtable, other things that might come to your mind, and then you can connect them with these design platforms. So I'm gonna go with the live demo, which is very self-explanatory. It's very easy to show you how it works, which is, I think, is very positive actually, because it only takes a few minutes to see how easy it is and how powerful DataPocket is. So without leaving Canva, I will play in Canva itself. So I hope you can see my screen now again. Over here, Canva, what it has an app ecosystem. So where there's loads of apps, and there's going to be more soon. And Filkers is our app that we had last year, and DataPocket is our new launch. So if you open DataPocket over here, what you're going to be able to see is your workspaces. I'm going to go with this one. And what you can see in here is some of the data sources that you can connect. And in here, you can see that I have connected a WooCommerce and a WordPress. Over here, there's some designs that I have chosen for today. Canva has millions and millions of templates that you can use. There's literally millions. And it's very easy to use. I'm just going to show you very quickly. I have my WooCommerce connected over here. So you have all your products on the left. Everything that you're seeing in here is being synchronized 24/7. So if this product over here, which is being updated 2 months ago, if I go and update this product right now, so if I change the title, or if I change the price, or if I change the images, it's going to be automatically updated inside of Canva. So with the API that we developed along with Canva, what you can do is this very easy drag and drop on how I get the image, and I just replace this template, for example, with the product that I have chosen today. And the same would happen with the titles. So for example, you will see this typography over here, which is new collection. So if I get the title over here, you will see that in real time, we're getting the typography from the template. The way it works is as simple as just a drag and drop to start creating content right away with the real data from your products. So this will be another example of how I have this product over here, and I'm just replacing all the images from the template. And if I want, for example, to, again, I just create this one over here, and then this one, I can just grab these sunglasses over here, and content creators, or again, designers from a brand, or again, an agency that works with the image from the client, they will be just creating this template for them. And again, if I just select this one over here now, I'm just showing you some very quick examples on how easy it is to just drag and drop. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you how I just created content for a shop. In this case, it's a clothing shop. And if I just go and press play, you will see how I have created 4 stories for Instagram in just a few seconds. And obviously these are not moving, but for example, this one over here, the next one is going to have some animation. And it's just as easy as that to start creating content thanks to DataPocket. And this will be on Canva. The next example that I wanted to show you is how, for example, a WordPress will be able to have their blog connected. So for example, everything that you're seeing here, let me go back. I have my WordPress connected over here, and I have all my blog posts in here. And if I open, for example, this one, you will see that I have the images that were inside the blog post, the title, the excerpt, who wrote it, permalink, and the content itself. And again, if I upload a new blog post, it's gonna be appearing in here in real time. Or if I change the images or the titles or anything, it's gonna change in here. So for example, I have chosen these templates that are, for example, to promote my blog on Instagram. So again, I would, with just a drag and drop, I will be creating content right away. So my new blog post, boom, is done. Then I want to promote this new blog post over here. So I just go in here, get the title, change it, and it's very easy. My idea here is to show you very briefly how easy it is to start creating content with either your client's content or your own content, of course. So for example, over here, and at this time we want the excerpt to be in here, and it will be just as easy as just sharing and then download it or send it to Instagram directly. That will be thanks to Canva, of course. So this will be how in a few seconds you're creating promotions for your blog posts. Again, imagine we have a blog and we need the banners for our blog when we have the when we have the actual website and we are presenting the blog, we usually put a banner to present our new blog posts. So it will be the same. Again, we bring this one over here, we drag and drop the main image, so we put it here. And again, I will be just with drag and drop, I will be creating content for my new blog post. And I'm just gonna show you very quickly this one over here. So again, you can see with just the drag and drop how I'm easily creating content for my blog in just a few seconds. There is a plugin that, for example, in Jetpack, you can start creating social content straight away, but there's limitations to how you can design these posts. So this will be a very nice way of complementing that extension, for example, on how with your WordPress content you can start creating visuals for your blog. This will be the Canva ecosystem playing with DataPocket. But obviously, some people are more interested in how Figma works. So in Figma, obviously, there is a huge ecosystem of possibilities. There's people doing landing pages, web design, apps, prototypes. There's lots of things to do in Figma, and it's going to be growing exponentially. Figma is the future of UX, along with obviously other platforms that are coming into play, such as PenPod, which is open source, which are going to be growing very fast. And my idea here is to quickly show you how DataPocket is also available in the Figma ecosystem. And you can see the power of DataPocket. That's where the name comes from, the pocket where you bring all your data sources. So either you go to Adobe, you will bring in your pocket with you, or if you go to Canva, you bring the pocket with you. Again, the same products that you saw before, which is the shop that is in here. And if I open this product, in Figma, it works a bit differently. So if I have this template, which I have prepared for you, and I select the image, I will be replacing automatically all the content from this template with just a few clicks. So of course you select the asset from the layers, and you will be replacing the content straight away. So for example, if I get the price correctly, I will be changing the price. And if I get the text over here, I will be changing the title in here. And again, if I keep playing with this template, then I will have my result over here. Sorry. And again, you will see very quickly the result of how easily you're just dragging and dropping all the information from your client to start designing their new website. So obviously these products are not done yet because I haven't done the whole design, which will take me a few minutes. But the good thing about DataPocket is that it will take me no time if I have the template already with me. and I will just have to drag and drop all the information from my client, and straight away I'll be showing my client, instead of doing a prototype with lorem ipsum, you will be showing the real thing to your client straight away. Obviously in Figma, there's people doing even social media. There's people doing loads of stuff in Figma that is not typical, but even in WordCamp Europe, we used Figma for social media. So imagine the endless possibilities that we have with DataPocket. Again, your WordPress data will be available in here as well, and the process will be the same. Just selecting, replacing, and playing with the texts that you have from your data source. I don't want to take longer showing DataPocket because I think it's very self-explanatory and how simple and powerful it is at the same time. And it's a shame that I don't have more colleagues with me in here. But the idea of DataPocket is that every tool that I'm showing you, so Canva, for example, Canva or Figma, they are tools that are collaborative, meaning that 2 people, 3 people, 4 people can play with the same design at the same time. So if I have this arrow over here, this arrow is me, but maybe someone over here is, I'm going to say Nilo, for example. But we both want to design with the same WooCommerce. So we will both have our WooCommerce available, and we will be dragging and dropping at the same time, playing on the same design with the same data source, even if Nilo is in Sevilla and I'm in Coruña. And again, that's how amazing it is that we build a collaboration tool in design platforms that are also collaborative. So that's why we say that agencies or brands will benefit from this. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Look, this is incredible what you showed us. We have a private company, family company as well, and my brother runs it, and he has, I think, more than 5,000 SKUs in his shop. So creating different posts for Instagram or different social networks, and he's not a designer, and he doesn't like marketing in general, but I mean he has to deal with it. So I know how much happy he was to understand how Canva works to help him out. But as soon as I show him this, I'm sure he will be more than happy to use it. In the meantime, Nilo asked a question. Are you considering to add batch generation, like all the posts from the blog or all the products from a category at once? What are the plans in this regard?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We got asked before. The idea is yes. There's gonna be many things coming. There's gonna be AI coming as well into play. Probably DataPocket is gonna be able to create even kind of like fake shops if you want to. So for example, you will be able to ask, create for me 10 products or 10 shoes with their claims, with fake prices. So you want to start designing or getting ideas even for new prototypes. But again, batch creation, there's always a problem with that. And it always has to do with the design platform. So for example, I know PenPod allows you to, for example, do batch creation, or Canva kind of tries with the new CSV update that they've done. You are able to do some sort of batch creation, it works really well. So our idea here is that what Nilo said would be amazing, that you could select 10 products, you have 10 templates, and in one click, you will get all the content straight away. But this is something that we have to work with Figma and Canva in order to have our app having this ability. It's not as easy as it seems. We wish, of course, but it's on the play. It's on the roadmap, and I think it's going to be one of the best things that we could offer to our users.
I have a question. I know that we had a hurdle at the beginning of our online shop journey is to resize the images. So, and many times, I mean, we ended up like having to resize them because we didn't understand the right size. Does DataPocket has some type of automated solution in this regard?
So there's things that we are able to do right now. They are under production, which means that obviously I'm not sure if I cannot show you today, but we partner, for example, with the guys from Kaleido. We use their API. So, for example, we have a thing that is capable of cleaning all the pictures for you in just one click. So, for example, you will just click, and then I will clean all your backgrounds. I will colorize perfectly well all your pictures thanks to the AI from Kaleido, which is background remove. But when it comes to resizing, there's one way of doing that actually. If, for example, you have Canva Pro or if you have Figma, imagine you first upload all your e-commerce pictures, and then you will just drag and drop with DataPocket. You will press resize on Canva, which is available, and you just export it into WordPress. That will be one of the solutions that comes to my mind right now. But I can tell you now that on the roadmap, there is the idea of DataPocket being also a some sort of DAM, so a digital asset management, where you can also upload manual stuff. So, for example, upload your typographies, upload your color palettes, upload images that maybe you want on top of it, logos on top of your e-commerce products. So you will be building your own brand from just one place. That's the future of DataPocket.
So basically, we would be able to maintain and manage social medias in just a couple of clicks, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the dream of every marketeer? I mean, I don't know
So
how many marketeers we have here, but I'm happy to hear this, to be honest with you.
right now, there are solutions out there. So, for example, if you use Box, Dropbox, Air, Canto, Sales Layer, there are solutions out there that let you synchronize images. But the problem is that, okay, images is fine. You use them, is great. But then you get asked, what was the latest price? What was the text? I can't remember the title of this product, because when you get to have 5,000 references, when you have thousands of references, you're not going to remember all your products. So the idea here is to have both your brand inside. So again, logos, images, typographies, and colors. But it's very important to have all your reference at hand, so you don't have to remember everything. I mean, it's crazy when you get over 100 references, I'm sure that it's very difficult to remember every single one of them. And what was the price of item number 99?
That is true. My biggest fear when working with integrated data systems
Yeah.
is what if I delete something? So, what
So,
if I delete something?
so if you delete a product from your backend, so imagine WooCommerce. Let's talk about WooCommerce. WooCommerce, the good thing is that has backups, right? So you could go back. Obviously, you will need some sort of technical knowledge in there. Not anyone, maybe someone there is, I don't know, down the street, maybe they don't know, right? And they need to call their developer or maintenance or whatever. But if you delete something on your WooCommerce, it will get deleted on DataPocket. That's the first thing. Unless you upload the CSV from your WooCommerce. This is a discussion that we've been having, whether full synchronization is necessary or not. Because someone told us, maybe it's not that necessary to have full synchronization, because what if I just upload all my products once and then I create content on my own pace? But then we said, yeah, but what if you're a big brand that needs to create content every single day, every single minute of your day? So again, I think we have both solutions covered. You can either go for full sync, so your WooCommerce, PrestaShop, Shopify is synchronized, or you download the CSV from your WooCommerce and then you upload it onto DataPocket. And even if you delete anything on your WooCommerce, it will not get deleted on DataPocket because it's a CSV that you have previously downloaded. So you have both solutions, but obviously you need to bear in mind which one suits you best.
Maybe our viewers and the people who are attending this show tonight, they can also whether they would be more happy with uploading the whole specs or perhaps constantly having them synced. On another topic, how do we find DataPocket? Where people can download it from?
Yeah, so I will say first, the best way to find DataPocket is to be on your design platform that you use daily. So for example, if you are inside of Figma, you will go to plugins, which is mainly most Figma users use a couple of plugins. It's true that it's not as typical as WordPress to have many plugins. In Figma, there's a lot of them, but not everyone uses them. DataPocket is one of the plugins that you can see in there officially. And the way to do it is you download it, and then it will ask you to sign in. And it's just as easy as just following the instructions on again, for example, Maja, maybe you have a WooCommerce to connect, and then you just it will take you to the WordPress.org directory. And in WooCommerce, well, for WooCommerce and WordPress, it takes the shape of a plugin inside of .org. Again, it's free to download. It's free to use at the beginning. So it's very straightforward. You just need to copy a key that the plugin is going to give you. You just paste it inside of DataPocket, and the synchronization will take a few seconds.
That is cool. And then I think there is everyone is like trying to understand how much is DataPocket.
So at the moment, as we speak, we decided for DataPocket to be free. There's thousands of users already coming into play. Doesn't mean that everyone pays, of course not, because I'm going to answer the question on what's the cost of DataPocket. Our idea is that one user, one data source is free. And then as following the Figma business model, we decided that when a brand that is usually, or when an agency, which is our main buyer personas, want to share the data source, because my colleague, for example, could be in Japan and then I'm in Spain, but we both have the same WooCommerce client, but I design on Canva and my colleague designs on Figma, I need to pay for DataPocket because I want to have the same data source, which is our same client, but we're both going to be working very far away from each other. Obviously, there will be ways to jump this, like everyone does on Figma, for example. Okay, share your license, why not? But when it comes to updating stuff, when it comes to sharing, you could overstep your colleague, or you could, everything that goes with collaboration, you know that you're working online, so you need to be very careful. So that's why you will get to pay when it's really needed. So for example, when two designers or a very big team wants to work with the same data source. So imagine a brand like Nike, which has thousands of designers inside. If they want to have the whole CMS from Nike on one place, but used by all their designers, the first designer will be free, but then each designer will have to pay the seat in order to design straight away with Nike information.
Interesting. Here is Nilo is saying in the chat, right, for the most users, continuous one-way sync is great, but there are some types of business like affiliates that might need one-time sync. And James, thank you, James, for joining us tonight. And James agrees and even supports the idea. How about, maybe I didn't understand correctly, but let me re-understand in this case. Let's say I'm a freelancer
Yeah.
and I have a couple of accounts that I'm handling. Will I be using the same API for all of them? What's meaning that all their information will be synced in one account, or I will need more accounts?
So, I mean, it's a very good question. If you're a freelancer, you will have, I don't know if it's, I think it's positive. You will have in just one account all the data sources. But for example, if you want to stay even more organized, so instead of, I could show you guys if you want to, but instead of having all your data sources on a list, so imagine, I don't know, imagine you have a client that you haven't worked for the past few months, but you have a really good relationship and you know you're going to be working in 2 months' time, so you don't want to delete their data source yet. You get to pay, for example, when you want to organize DataPocket by workspaces. So for example, a workspace will be the place where you will have certain data sources that could then be shared with someone else, or that you will have to pay to stay even more organized. But the way forward, if you want to be 100% free and have, for example, 5 data sources at once, it will be free for you in that case.
This is incredible. I mean, I'm already tempted, to sum all my family and tell them, look, there is something that will actually remove the headache from all of you, especially from my brother, so that he has more time. Uh, on another note, just out of curiosity, have you measured perhaps how much time is saved by using DataPocket? And are there any other benefits that DataPocket provides to the potential users?
Yeah, at the beginning, well, our communications manager obviously is the one in charge of building the messages. At the beginning, DataPocket had another claim. In marketing, we always we try to come with the best claims. At the beginning, we used to say design 80 times faster. But obviously, how do you prove that? When it comes to marketing, it's very difficult to prove everything that we say. If Nike tells you just do it, yes, of course, but I have to learn how to cycle first. I have to learn how to swim, and there's steps, right? So the same comes in here. It comes to the designer, to the persona that is using it. So how fast are you usually designing? Maybe you Magi you're faster than me, or the other way around. But what is true is that we've seen how people are surprised on how fast it is. So when you, for example, there's many brands out there that have templates already. So for example, we've seen users doing email marketing with this. They have all their templates on Canva and then just drag and drop and export right away. So some people are doing just in seconds the work that they used to do in maybe minutes, or that took longer in general, because again, before you had to look for the images, the folders, asking your colleagues, what was the folder, which one was it? Oh, this is not the title. No, this is not blue, this is red. What was the reference? So again, when I was talking about data custody, I hope is the name in English. I hope I'm saying it correctly. I think it's very important for teams to always have consistency on what you're using and knowing that you're using the correct information always. Because we've seen in the history of marketing, in the history of communication, people making silly mistakes because we tend to copy and paste, or we tend to just, oh yeah, I do remember the title, don't worry, and you just type it and then you send it without checking twice, and then you make mistakes. So one of the biggest advantages is data consistency, for sure.
In other words, other people that the price is what they say, right? It happened to me once when I was in automotive industry that I didn't check the price twice. Another question from Meher coming. If a post is not yet published, let's say it was saved as a draft, does DataPocket fetch the post data?
Yeah. So for this question, you're gonna have to try. You're gonna have to try because last time we had a tiny bug in there where we couldn't see the draft posts. Because obviously when it's not published, we are not reading the metadata from WordPress and synchronize it. So I would say try it. It's free for sure, and see if it's fetching the data. I would say yes, but I don't want to give 100% answer right now. I haven't tried it in the last week. Yes, please try it. uh, but it should be working. The other thing that you can do, if you see there's a workaround in there, is that obviously I know there's plugins out there that when you publish a post, then everyone gets automatically informed. Like for example, with Jetpack plugin. So obviously you need to be careful with when you press publish on a post. But for some people, for personal bloggers, we've seen cases where literally they're using DataPocket just to promote their blog post, which is something that they didn't do before. They were like, oh, maybe now it's time to create social channels to promote my blog and maybe get more readers, because it's very easy to start creating content. It's something that before it took a lot of time, but now it's just drag and drop.
Yeah, the way you showed it to me, I mean, if I knew that would actually exist like 20 years after, I wouldn't suffer, 20 years ago. I would just say, and I'll wait for it. Thank you, Meher, for your question. And surely we will all try. I was very happy to actually, when I posted a tweet on Twitter saying that I'm looking for plugins and WordPress solutions made by Gen Z, Jorge was first there to actually say, yes, I have something. So I'm very happy. We are already at the top of the hour, and unless there are more questions regarding the plugin itself, I would like to ask you, Jorge, what is that beautiful design behind your back?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So I'm from a region called Galicia in the northwest of Spain. And there was this tragic event on, sorry if it was 2002 or 2008. I think it was 2002. There was this in Galicia, we are very known because of the sea and all the ships that come from here and go out from here. There was actually one that sank. There was a huge accident, and it was full of how do you say this in English? Petroleum.
Like crude oil?
Yeah, but the black one.
Yeah, the crude oil,
Yeah.
the not refined one, right?
So what happened is that this very ship, it sank very near the coast in my city, and what happened is that thousands and thousands of fishes died, and there was loads of there was a huge problem, obviously, getting into the ship without getting contaminated. There was this huge accident in here, and why we got to do this over here is the community, which is probably Raquel is gonna love this. We all got our hands on. We all went to the beach and with suits and gloves and fixed with all the citizens from the city, fixing everything that got contaminated. Obviously, it was a hard moment because obviously there was there was a huge problem in there. And what you're seeing here is something that this very company, which was not called Ovixia before, they did a kind of like a donation. This was every one of us in Coruña, we could go to a place, grab one of these, and do your own painting. So if I grab, give me 1 second. If I grab this one over here, which is plain. Okay, some people just went for a plain color, but behind you could see their name and where are they from and the day. So it was 2003. So we bought all of them in order to support the cost, and we've been with them since forever, since 2003.
It's I mean, although it was a tragic event, but I'm very happy how you as a society reacted to it and how you mobilized in order to help each other and to help the nature.
Yeah,
And Melvin is even saying that it's beautiful. It is beautiful and it is sending a great message. By the way, it's all also sorted as posts. So what I see now, it's like a small preview of posts that you can actually do with DataPocket.
yeah,
Wow, there's a lot, right?
some of them dropped. That's the only issue. So they
Yeah,
are
basically you don't think about putting photos on the wall. They're already there, right?
yeah.
Anyway, it was really great hanging out with you. I see there are no more questions in the chat, and I think what you did and how you explained what DataPocket can do for us is really self-explanatory, and it's really easy to use. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. This has been an incredible journey to understand how we can save time and at the same time communicate better with our audience. Jorge, we wish you everything best, and we hope that. If you would, it's a great story, right, at the end as well, James, right? So it was our pleasure. I mean, if we as a group can help somehow, and if we can do some testing or demoing for you in future, or if you have any news, please come and join us. I'm sure it will be more. We will be more than happy to join you. Yes, thank you, Meher. Thank you, George, Anna, Melvin, Raquel, Nilo, and everyone else who joined us tonight. This has been another GoDaddy Pro EMEA meetup. I see you in 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.